Hello guys, my name is Gbenga Salu. I'm a TV director, I'm an editor, an animator, and the CEO creative director of Renders and Illusion, as well as Naija Footballers. Since right from when I was young, I've always shown the traces of being very creative. I remember as far back as maybe 4 or 5, I remember I tried to do a video game, because I love video games back then. I tried to make a video game with paper. I thought it was possible. Something just told me it was doable, but of course I didn't have any progress with that. Remember, I loved wrestling back then a lot, so I would draw wrestlers and cut them out and make them stand, and just try to just be very creative with games. And of course, I could draw very well. I was like, how I'm the best artist in my area back then, and I would draw, and people would call their friends, come and draw me, and I remember I would make my own games like Ludo games, Snake and Ladder, and the rest of them. I would create them, and we all have fun with it with my friends in school. I remember as well when I was early days in my secondary school that I would publish, in quotes, a book of fun. That's what I called it back then. I'm talking GS1, GS2, when I'll make a book of fun where it's a booklet of about maybe 12 pages or 20 or 24 pages, and it will contain puzzles, it will contain find the words, it will contain maze and story forms, cartoon forms, and I'll just put it together, staple it together, and probably give it to my friends to solve the maze or solve the puzzles. That was way back then. I would do that, because I just love to make people, I love to express my creative sense. And I remember that was back then. And so, of course, as well, I was doing well in school. I was doing very well in school, mathematics and the rest. And of course, because if you do well in school, people would normally just think you should be a science student, because by default you expect that brilliance equals being a science student way back then, and so that ensured, or that drove me to the path of being a science student when I was in higher level of secondary school, in SS 1, 2, 3. I was in the science class, and of course I finished well. And of course, naturally, next thing is you're going to the higher institution, you should be either an engineer or a doctor and the likes. So I entered University of Lagos, in 1999/2000 to study mechanical engineering, and I got admitted University of Lagos Mechanical Engineering, which I did for 2 years. I studied mechanical engineering for 2 years. I remember we had a board then. It was called the ULES board. ULES board is, that's the board for the University of Lagos Engineering Society. There was a place to put it in the engineering faculty, where it contains articles and all kinds of fun stuff students can come and read. I remember I went to the editor and I told him I wanted to contribute cartoons for the board. And anything that they were welcoming and very encouraging. And so I started drawing and putting on my cartoons on the ULES board back then, 2001, 2002, in engineering. And people loved it. Sometimes, I'll put up my cartoons and people don't know me. People don't know who does the cartoons. So I will only sign my pen name back there, Master Stroke. That's what I'll call it. I won't put my name there. And people will come, people will read it, they will laugh. I'll just stay back and just look at it. It always amazes me to see people read it and laugh. It gives me joy. I loved it. So I was really encouraged to continue. And so, because people love my works. And so I remember my dad used to buy Punch newspaper a lot. And one of the things that I love, or me and my friends and my brothers and sisters love to read in Punch newspaper was the cartoon section. And after a while, I had a compilation of the cartoon section of Punch newspaper. I'll cut it out and just make it into a booklet because I loved it. So after a while, I looked at it like, I think I can as well do this. So I did a lot of my drawings, and I started taking it to newspaper houses all around Lagos. I'm talking 2003, 2004. Yeah, 2003. Yeah, but I'll take all my drawings. I'll approach media houses, name them. I've been to every one of them way back then. Of course, I got rejected because I was still very young back then. But I remember some of them were very encouraging. They would tell me to drop my works. They would get back to me. A lot never got back to me. In fact, I don't think there was one that got back to me. It was called All Mark Newspaper back then, and they would publish my work. You know, it gave me so much satisfaction back then. It gave me so much happiness that I could see my work in National Daily. I wasn't being paid. I was promised payment, but I never got paid, and that happened for 3 months. But you know, the joy of just having my work published was just almost enough for me. And after a while, that continued, and I remember late 2013, I was just in Unilag. We're moving into another session. So I was just in Unilag one day, and I was sitting newspaper, a Punch newspaper. Of course, the first thing is to pick it up and go to the cartoon section. And lo and behold, what am I seeing? I'm seeing my works there in Punch newspaper. I couldn't believe it. I almost jumped and hit my head on the bunk up. You know, it was surreal. I couldn't believe it. Amazing experience. So the next day I got to Punch newspaper. So I asked them what happened. I mean, I wasn't aware my stuff was going to be published, but I was so happy. Thanked them, and so they told me that the person that used to fill in that space for that section was on leave, and so they needed to fill that space, and that's why my stuff was good enough, and they put it there. It was amazing. It was amazing. I couldn't believe. I felt extremely satisfied and happy. And so that's why I got into Punch newspaper. I started doing freelance for them. Even when the person got back, I had my own column with Punch newspaper every Saturday. It was almost a full page of Punch newspaper back then. So it was a huge encouraging factor for me that this was something I should pursue. And I remember saying to myself at that period that if people loved this so much that they could, I was getting a bit of payment. It wasn't anything seriously substantial, but was good enough as a young person back then. And so I said to myself, if people consider my work good enough, then what if I give this a full blast, like I go for it fully? You know, I was still in engineering. Engineering afforded me little time to really improve on my artistic skills. So I said to myself, what if I change my course to a course that, you know, would encourage my artistic skills? So after 2 years, I changed my course to creative arts, and that encouraged my creative skills. I was able to develop a bit more. And you know, afterwards I picked up, I mean, it wasn't easy. People thought I was crazy when I was changing my course from engineering to creative arts, because naturally it wasn't possible. Because for you to be able to be a creative arts student, you need to have, you know, done some non-science courses when you were in secondary school, which I didn't do. But somehow God made it possible, and I was able to change my course to creative arts. My mom thought it wasn't a good idea. God bless her soul. But she encouraged. I encouraged her that she shouldn't worry. This was what I wanted to do, and I can make a living out of this. So she encouraged my dad as well, my brothers and sisters. They didn't think it was a sensible thing to do, but they gave their 100% support anyway. So that continued, and I learned a bit of video editing by myself. I learned all the software, and you know, that has helped me, and that has projected me to, you know, my world of making music videos and making movies, which is what I do today. What I love about directing basically is I love the fact that it gives you an opportunity to create something from nothing. Like you know, the idea of directing a play or a movie starts from an idea, and so a writer puts it down. You know, it's not enough to, you know, the good thing about directing, let me say, is, you can read, three people can read a simple story, one same story, and they can interpret it differently in their heads. I mean, of course, nobody reads without pictures in their heads. So for you as a director to be able to visualize and put all these pictures or all these images, or try to put it in pictures, these words in pictures, it's an amazing experience, amazing feeling that I think I love to do. I love to bring words to life with the help of actors or scenarios or objects, inanimate or animate. I love that a lot. And if I have to relate it to what I do in creative, unfortunately, we were never taught so much in school. I mean, that's what we keep saying about our institution, educational system in Nigeria. I remember in Unilag, I have to say this, in Unilag, throughout my stay there as a creative art student, they never taught us how to use a computer to even do a design. That was because even the department didn't have a computer delegated for creative art students. I was there for about three years. Nobody taught us. I remember I bought my own computer because I know I needed it. When I was in school, I mean, a lot of people thought, you are trying to be overzealous, but hey. So if I say that what I do now was because of what I learned in Unilag, I think I'll be doing myself a bit of disservice. I'm being dishonest to say that, because a lot of what I learned in directing wasn't really from there, although I had to go to the UK Film Academy to learn a bit of directing to enhance my own skills. So yeah, so that's one thing I love about directing. I love the fact that I can bring words to life through people and objects around and scenes out there. But we're talking those that are successful. I think you need to be very, very creative. Exceptionally, I mean, a lot of people think because there's camera is easily accessible, lights are easily accessible to anyone these days. So I mean, all you just need to do is call action and people start acting. I think I know it goes beyond that. I think if you as a director can't see the film yet in your mind's eye, then I think the film is on its way to be a failure. Forget about the fact that cameras, lights, and all these gadgets are easily accessible to everyone these days. I mean, everybody can have access to it. Even with your mobile phone, you can shoot a film. So that should go to show that making a film is not the gadgets. Because a lot of young people are very, very enticed with this new camera, this new light, or this new. No. I mean, you need to be able to see things differently from how the regular person would see it. I mean, you need to see more than what the regular person would see. You need to be able to get to a location, look around, and see what people don't see. Because a lot of people, a lot of films I've seen, you will know that no effort has gone into making sure that there is production value in this film or this production. People just point and shoot. You get to a location and you look at it like, what story am I telling with this location? What is this location going to do to my story? Or what is the best way to film this location or this scene? I mean, there are several technicalities. Your lighting, you need to know. I mean, you may not be the lighting director, but at least as a director, you need to be able to tell a story with your light, because a simple move of light can alter the feeling it gives to the viewer. So you need to cover all these bases, and I think it's very important you go to school. You go to school of filming, formally or informally. When I say formally, you enroll to a film school. Informally, you need to attach yourself to a film director or a TV director so that you can learn. You need to be on set. Filmmaking is not about books, it's not about theory. You need to be on set, see how things are done so that you can get it right. Okay, I think one of the best things about having your customer and making them satisfied is the fact that you need to know what they want. Usually when people come to me that they want me to do a job for them, I try to understand the job. I try to listen to them, even hear what they're not saying. I try to, say for instance, you come to me, you want to make a music video. One of the things I'll ask is, do you have a reference of what you're looking at? Do you have what you want to achieve. I mean, do you have a reference for it? So that it's not like we want to copy it, but we just want to understand this is the direction you're looking at. So I think one of the things is listen to your client. You need to know what the client wants. And I think, starting off, one of the things I realized that didn't help initially was not delivering on time. People don't like disappointments. Nobody likes disappointment. I mean, oftentimes as creative people, we try to want to overdo. And I learned this from someone like, if you want to do so much and it's delaying your time, then your client won't need it anymore. The project has failed. If you deliver after the client needs it, so what's the point? So I think that one of the biggest advice I would give to anyone is to try and not disappoint clients with delivery time. And that's something creative people have been known to do a lot. That's deliver later than the required time. So I would advise that listen to your client, know what they want, and deliver. Promise less and deliver more is always good. I do this with every phase of my life. There are times back then when I was really into filmmaking and music videos, I had people I looked up to. I wouldn't say names, I wouldn't say they are people, but it changes. Like Peter Jackson is a filmmaker. Peter Jackson is someone even till today, is a New Zealand filmmaker. I love his work because a lot of what he does are quite visual effect heavy, which is something I love to do. I do a lot of green screen and animation, and that's something that he started. He did very well in his early days in filmmaking. Peter Jackson still till today remains one of my biggest inspirations, and I think I am someone that I don't look at people to channel my life towards. I try to go into territories where it's brand new, it's new, people have not really delved into it so much. I try to pioneer it. I just get inspiration from anywhere on the internet, people around, but I won't say there's a particular person that is my inspiration. Anything around inspires me. A business deal is one that is most profitable for me because there are some that, the effort you put into it, how much you charge. Say for instance, you charge $1 million, you spend about 400 or 600,000 on it, and you're making 400. And some you just charge maybe 700, and you spent about 100 or 200 on it, and you're making almost 500,000 on it. It's tough to say. I'm hoping to get some deals where the profit alone on it will be like $1 million. That would be good. It's possible. I've heard people make so much money like that, and I want to get to that point. $1 million profit on a small job. It's possible. There's so much money in the industry. People are making it. I've done well for myself as well, and so I will encourage everyone. You can do well for yourself. I've been called the Chroma King a couple of times. People refer to my work. People can see my work sometimes, they know that, okay, this is Gbenga that I did this for, because I love visual effects. I love visual effects. In fact, I've been accused of doing visual effects even when it's not necessary. There are some, I remember the last film I did, there's a part where a lady was supposed to hit her head on the floor and then the blood spills out, or, hit her head on the floor and she dies. Normally, if someone falls and hits his head or her head on the floor, it's okay. Yeah, you can die from that. But I thought to myself, like, it would be more dramatic if you see blood actually spilling out. And I did it in post-production. It wasn't there on set because it might be literally difficult to put out on set. But with visual effects, that is very achievable. So my signature, I love to have visual effects in my stuff. That's animation or some kind of thing you can achieve while on set. I love to put it in post-production. That's a signature I've held on to. Okay, as a creative person as well, because I can draw, I've been able to start a business as well where we do souvenirs. It's called Wiki Wax. So basically what we do is people call us and they want to do a gift for someone. They ask them, what do you want to tell what story do you want to tell for the person or of the person. So they give us ideas of what the person, if the person is a doctor, for instance, they tell us. So we have a caricature drawing of the person, and then, or a simple drawing of the person, maybe a doctor or whatever. And then we print it on printable items like mugs or even key holders, water bottles, and pad, that's mouse pad, and the rest of them. So that's also another creative opportunity that I've been able to create, with my creative skills. A few advice I would give to startup or young person that wants to start up is, first thing is, money shouldn't be the motivation. I know you heard this time and time and time again, but that is the simple truth. As a creative person, the first thing you want to do is you want to show people your abilities. You want to show people what you can do. And money shouldn't be what will encourage you to want to do that. Definitely if you're good, if you're so good, money will come. And it's the truth. Money follows value. Where there's value being given, money will always follow. That is a simple, true fact about life. When you can provide value, money will follow. So I would encourage that, please, if you want to start up in the creative industry, first thing first is you identify what you want to do. And I hate when people duplicate ideas. I hate it. I think it's not original. As a creative person, you need to strive to be very, very original. If you're doing if you see that something is already in existence, fine. It doesn't mean that only one person should do it. But if you want to stand out, you can go do the same thing, but put on something extra on it. Put something extra on it. That's another advice I'll give. Then another one I'll give is you keep updating. The creative industry evolves every single day. There are new tools that have been introduced into the industry. That's something I do. I try to update my knowledge. What is in vogue right now? What's the latest right now? Because you may think that the equipment you have to do your work yesterday is what you still use next year, but within that space of 2-3 months, new gadgets that makes life easier, that makes opportunity more accessible to you, has come up. So you need to upgrade and improve yourself to know what's up with the industry and keep in touch with the latest technology. Basically, I think the only thing really working in Nigeria at the moment is entertainment. The entertainment industry is doing fine by itself. And so that's because I think the factor responsible for that is the fact that the government is not fully involved in entertainment. Once the government enters, I'm scared they might collapse it and it might be a problem. There's been creative summit, they just finished one a couple of days ago, where the government is trying to get involved in the entertainment industry. I'm very skeptical. I'm very scared of them coming into the entertainment industry because everything the government has touched has really not worked, as far as I'm concerned, and that's the simple truth. So I think the only thing, if you ask me what's the only thing missing in the entertainment industry, I think it will only get better, really. Okay, maybe organization. It's not well organized. And I think maybe that's where the government is coming in, but they shouldn't be too involved, I beg. A lot of people have put blood, sweat, and pain to make sure the entertainment industry gets to where it is right now, even in the film and in the film industry, TV industry, and in the music industry. Individuals have made it work. They are making it work. And I think a little bit of structure in place will take it to the next level where even the whole world would stand and get, be very, very aware of what we're doing. I strongly believe that if you are very, very good and you don't have spiritual problems, it's just a matter of time. That's it. It's just a matter of time. If you're so good that you're doing something extra that we are not that we don't usually see, I think it's just a matter of time. You will get your time because there's always time and opportunity. And I believe strongly, like, there are a lot of people that are so good, and all they do is they do this good stuff and don't get people to see it. They don't make people see it. You need to put yourself in a position where people can see your work Say for instance, social media is where everybody lives. That's where everybody is now. A lot of people don't even watch TV. Social media that's it. So if you are so good, you have so many eyeballs waiting to see what you can do on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Put it on them. And that's something about, that's advert. You need to advertise. You can't light a candle and you cover it up and you are saying you can't see. If you do that, then you are doing yourself a lot of disservice. You can say, I'm so good, but people are not giving you opportunity. People don't present opportunity to people. You need to make people see you. You need to make people see you so that they can give you the opportunity to shine or to make money or profit from your creative skills. So I strongly believe if you're so good, you're doing something we don't usually see, make sure people see you, and in just a matter of time, you will definitely be recognized. The opportunity of starting my career all over again, I think I'll be more daring. Because I doubted myself a lot at the beginning. A lot of people told me that I couldn't do a few things until I do this or do that. Sometimes I listened, sometimes I just dared it. I think I'll be more daring. I'll take on more things that are normally way above my age range. As at that time. Knowing what I know now, I think I would have started earlier. That's something I would have loved to do. I think although I started quite early, but I wish I could have started much more earlier than I started. And I think I would have been much more daring. I would have damned a lot of consequences of trying to do more. I think that's something I would change if I had to start over again. But I wouldn't, I'm happy where I am right now. I'm happy at the place I am right now. I'm satisfied. But of course, like humans are insatiable. We want more. So I want more and I will do more. I wasn't a creative artist, so I wasn't into TV production. I might have been a footballer. I think I would have made a good footballer. But the opportunity didn't present itself because of where I grew up and the conditions around how I grew up. It didn't provide the opportunity to explore my footballing skills, but I think I would have made a good footballer. Or maybe a good singer, who knows? Because I remember back then I was toying with the idea of singing, but I don't know about that. But for football, I think I would have made a good footballer.